Blender key.
I want you to check this out. This is something I'm working on now, and I have been rendering it in cycles because the physics is still a little bit glitchy in Blender 2.8, or at least it is in my opinion, especially when you're using rigid body constraints, and I'm using a whole bunch of them for this. But this right here is Blender 2.8, as you can see, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's rendered in real time. Let me go ahead and click play, and this is real time rendering. Of course, I'm just using a GTX 1060, and although I have two GTX 1060s, it's absolutely incapable of any type of SLI type. It won't combine the power of them. It's just use a one unless I'm rendering in cycles. But that's not bad. But you can see it's up here in the top left. I'll go back to the beginning. See, it's only rendering around 18 to 20 frames per second, somewhere around there. And of course, it's not rendering it perfectly. But it's not doing bad. But if I was to, let's say, just click render, just render an image, as you can see here, it takes what, maybe 5 seconds, 6 seconds, well, just under 10 seconds per frame, and that's not bad. Now if I was to put it in cycles, let me see what it looks like in cycles. Now I do want to go back to Eevee for a second whenever this gets done, because I just imported this from a Blender 2.79 project. I did not have bloom and screen space reflections and stuff like that turned on because, quite frankly, those options are not there in 2.79 because that's something that Cycles does automatically. But let me wait till this gets done. And as you can see, Cycles with two GPUs rendered it in just under 43 seconds, whereas Eevee done it in about 10 seconds. Now, let me go back to Eevee, turn on bloom, screen space reflections, and make the shadow map a little bit larger so it looks a little bit better. In my opinion, it looks better. And I'll turn on a little bit of ambient occlusion. I'm just going to leave it at the stock settings. I'm not real familiar with ambient occlusion. I hardly ever used it when rendering cycles, and I'm just now starting to use it in Eevee. Alright, now let me go ahead and go to slot 1 and make sure I'm in Eevee. I'm going to bump this up to 128, and let me go ahead and render a frame. And then I want to compare what the Cycles version looks like compared to Eevee. Alright, now it's probably doing an unneeded step because right now, since I did import this from 2.79, I probably got denoise turned on. Yeah, it's using the AI denoiser, which is absolutely not needed when it comes to Eevee, so it's adding a couple seconds to it. But you're talking about probably 15 seconds with this turned off, or it may not even be using, I'm not 100% sure with Eevee. But let me go back between slot 1 and slot 2. This, what you're seeing now is rendered in Eevee, and then that's cycles. And it's hard to say which one I would actually like better. I mean, they look different for sure, but in some ways I like Eevee better, but in terms of realism and the way light actually works, it definitely looks better in cycles. But I'll tell you what, Eevee is getting a whole lot better. But that's all. I just wanted to make this quick video. Later, people. Thank you for watching this video. Here are 4 other videos you might like. If you liked this video, please give it a like, share it, or leave a comment. I try to respond to every comment on every video regardless how old the video is. Also, please support your favorite YouTubers by disabling ad blocker. Thanks again. Later.